Welcome or welcome back to my page. This is Ashley Rants, and I am Ashley, or Ash preferably. And this is my first video in a while. I think when I looked, it was said about 2 months. It feels like it's been four, but I also have no concept of time. Um, if you see the crown, you know what this is about. I don't even do tiaras and stuff, but this is for my bachelorette party. So I thought it was befitting for this video. And if you have read the tag, you know what this is about. The title, you know what this is about. This is a review, not a review, but we're reviewing everything that's happened, but not reviewing like I'm grading. Uh, my wedding, because I'm married now. Like I'm a whole married woman. I'm a missus. Um, the highs and the lows, and it was way more highs than there were lows. So please know that. That being said, before we get started, please take the time to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps a lot. And now that I'm back, I'm going to be posting more consistently again. I feel like I was a little bit consistent before, but I'm going to be back to being consistent now. So hopefully I can make a thing out of this. That being said, please don't hesitate to comment and share the video. And I would love to hear what you guys have to say about anything and everything that I have to say about. Um, I do want to add a disclaimer here. It's my birthday weekend, and I am a lot of bit tipsy. But I thought it would be fun to still do this video. I wasn't going to do this video till tomorrow after church, but I'm feeling nice. So, so I said, let's do it now. So that's what's happening. So forgive me in advance for just forgive me. Okay? Because I'm in rare form. Because I really, really don't drink. And I only had one margarita. We went to a Mexican restaurant, so one margarita equals 3 margaritas, and so I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling pretty. I'm feeling pretty right now. So, um, let's talk about my wedding. It was on September the 6th, 2025. And I married. I used to hate it when people say this because it felt so put on. Um, but I get it now. Uh, I get it now. I married the love of my life, Stefan, and I'm still like in this little love bubble. It's been 2 weeks, and I'm in this little love bubble that hopefully will never burst. I'm just very happy. So, the wedding. I didn't, again, I was supposed to do this tomorrow, so I don't have my notes, and I don't have notes prepared and stuff like that. So bear with me while I get through this, because I don't know where I want to start with the wedding. I know where I want to start. Let's start with the wedding party. Um, the For my engagement party, I was blessed to have my sisters and my mom host my engagement party last year at a Hibachi Grill restaurant, and it was very nice. They gave us these really, and I have them downstairs. I wish I would have thought to bring them upstairs now, but I'm not going to pause this to go get it. They gave us this really cute cheese boards that's in the shape of a heart, and then they gave us save the dates for the wedding, which I'm frustrated because when they did the save the dates, we ended up doing everything electronically. But if we ended up mailing stuff, I would have just used those save the dates because they were gorgeous. They were so thought out. They were, they, they did their big one on that. It was very much giving, we're loved. And I do want to stress this. Stefan's family is my family, period. But they're also not in Ohio, which is where we're at. So I tried not to have them request that they do the parties and stuff like that. So when I talk about the events, the bridal party, and the events associated with those, it's not going to be heavy on them, not because they were exiled or anything like that. It's just that it's hard to, when you're across the country, it's hard to plan something here. You know what I'm saying? So I think in my soul of souls, I feel bad for it, but I also understand the logic behind our decision to not do that. That being said, fast forward to my bridal shower. I have two best friends. Oh wait, reverse. At for my engagement party, it was, like I said, it was hosted by my sisters and my mom. My oldest sister, Janine, she was a bridesmaid, and my mom was mother of the bride. And then my other sister, Rhonda, she sung at the wedding. Ideally, and I'm going to explain, let me say what the thought process was first, and then why I am 100% happy that this did not happen now. Ideally, my thought process was, even before I got engaged, was both my sisters was going to sing at the wedding. It was going to be Rhonda singing I Believe in You and Me by Whitney Houston, Preacher's Wife, the only good part of that movie. I don't care what anybody says. That's a horrible movie. That is a horrible movie. You can fight me on that. Preacher's Wife is a horrible movie, but that is a good song. And the soundtrack, banging, flawless. The movie, trash. Trash. Dudley was a homewrecker. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. He's a homewrecker from heaven. It's a crying shame. You on assignment and you trying to get you something. It is a crying shame. A crying shame. Anyways, focus. Focus, Ashley. So, and then Janine, in my head, which is my oldest sister, she was going to sing commissioned Love Isn't Love. That, if you're a church head, if you grew up in a church, you know that song. It abruptly turned, from the time that I heard it when I was a kid, I knew I was going to walk down the aisle to that song. That has never changed. Rhonda did not sing I Believe in You and Me because that has changed. But Love Isn't Love has never changed. Because the first part of that song is so beautiful. Now, if you listen to the song all the way through, it switches up like a third of the way through. Maybe a fourth of the way through, if we're being honest. And it goes from very romantic to we have to save the children and the homeless and the not befitting a wedding. So they were laughing at me because when I said the song is going to play from like 0.00 seconds to 1.1 minute and 14 seconds or something like that. I can't remember, but that's just, they were laughing at me. But it's because of the abrupt switch of that song. Listen to it. It is a banger of a song. It's very 90s, but it's a banger of a song. And I feel like it tells the story of how love goes. And I've always felt like that. But Janine immediately said, no, that's not my ministry. Now, I've always also maintained that if Janine or Rhonda puts out an album today, I would go buy it. And I don't buy albums, but I love their voices. I think they have beautiful singing voices. I truly do. I do not have that blessing. I can be in somebody's choir, but I can't be somebody's soloist. You feel me? Well, I could be a soloist on like one song, very specific song. Like you gotta pick out the song, and I can't do a lot with it, but I still do karaoke, but karaoke don't count. And if I'm going to be a soloist, I got to practice for like 3 months. But my sisters, they can sing. But Janine does not sing. She does not like it. It's not her ministry. She is a background person. And I think initially I was a little hurt that she said no. But hindsight, I'm glad that she said no, because if that's not where you want to be at, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. And then she said something after the wedding that really hit home. And I had really gotten over her not singing at the wedding way before this. But any little lingering thoughts in my spirit after the wedding, she sort of killed when she's like, yo, if I realize now I could have sung that song, but if I would have sung that song, I would have been crying the whole time. So you wouldn't be able to hear a word. And I would have ruined the day. And I'm like, I forgot you was a softie. Oh, I forgot. I always forget that she's a softie. It's crazy to me. So that was my vision, but that's how she ended up becoming a bridesmaid, because I was trying to find a place for her within the wedding that felt right. And it didn't feel right to not have my sister in my wedding. And I kept trying to find a place, but every time I would come up with a thing, sorry, alcohol is fun. Every time I came up with a thing, she would be honest with me. And I can't fault you for being honest. Like, yo, that's not my ministry. I'm not meant to be that. So I think I asked her maybe October to sing, and she said no. I think around January or February, I asked her, hey, can you be a bridesmaid? And that felt right. And that worked out. She said yes. And I was very happy about it. I don't know if she knows how happy I was about that, but it was, because I can't imagine walking down the aisle and my sisters not being right there with me. In some, like, there with me in some capacity. It was very important to me. I don't know if they know how important they are to me. So let's fast forward to bridal shower. I have two amazing best friends. There's Nikki, and then because it's my webpage and my YouTube page and not her page, personal thing. I'm gonna use Nikki because I don't know if she wants her government out there. There's Nikki, and then there's Mo. Nikki is she's the grower. She plants things. She's of the earth. She is serene. She is calm. She is peace. She is love. She's holy. She's peace. She is love. Mo, there's a good angel on my shoulder. That's Nikki. There's the bad angel on my shoulder. That's Mo. And that's the best way to describe them. They are completely opposite, but they are both facets of me, I swear. And they're the best friends that anybody could ever hope for. Let me tell you about this bridal shower. So I forgot about this until just now. So we were going to have the bridal shower at an Airbnb. Like 1 or 2 days before, maybe I'll say a week because I can't remember fully. A week before the bridal shower was supposed to take place, she gets contacted by, Nikki is the one who's throwing the bridal shower. Nikki gets contacted by the host of the Airbnb, like, hey, so we had a storm in Columbus and our roof collapsed. We're going to refund you, but you can't have your event here. And I'm like, wait, hold on. What? How is this? that was bananas in pajamas to me. It was very crazy to me. And thankfully at my apartment complex we have a clubhouse, and the clubhouse is dope. So we were able to pivot, and we were able to utilize the clubhouse, and then all I had to do was walk across the across the way, for real, to the bridal shower. But I could see how she would have been stressed with that. But when I tell you, at the bridal shower, I felt so loved. I felt so, that is a major thing with me. If I do an event, if I invite someone out somewhere, I want to walk away and I want to feel like I'm loved and considered, and I want them to feel like they're loved and considered, and it's important to me, that feeling. And I just felt so enveloped in love. It was so much fun. We played so many games, and and I still have the box that they gave me, that where everybody did a wish for my marriage, and then date ideas and a prayer and stuff like that. And it's the sweetest thing. It's just the sweetest thing. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. But it was just the effort, that put, for me, for little old me, it meant so much to me. And I'm going to come up out of this emotional moment because we don't need to be there. The bachelorette was, I live in Columbus, they live in Dayton. I told them I wanted to do bachelorette in Dayton while we had the bridal shower in Columbus. We had a slumber party at this dope Airbnb. It was a little hot though, but at this dope Airbnb that was hosted by Mo. I forgot I knew it was an event for me, but little things throughout the night I would forget that it's an event for me, and I'll be like, "Oh, this playlist is banging. Who picked these songs?" And then she's like, "Girl, it's curated to you." I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And then I'm like, "Oh, this layout, the spread, the food is like so good." And it's like, "Oh, y'all got Devils on Horse." That's Devils on Horseback is dates with cheese wrapped in bacon. Forgive me if I got it wrong. It charges to the alcohol. It's so good though. There's also something called Angels on Horseback, but I can't remember what that is exactly right now. It was so good. The meatballs were good. Like the charcuterie, had a dope charcuterie board and a dessert charcuterie board. It was so nice. And I forgot for a moment. This one I didn't say out loud. I didn't say this one out loud, but I forgot for a moment that this was like catered to me, even though I'm the one who centered all the different stuff that I like. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this spread is everything. I can't believe they got all this stuff. These are some of my favorites." Oh, because I had mentioned that I like all this stuff. So, like I am a deviled egg fanatic. I can't seem to make it like it don't hit like it used to hit when I was a kid though. So it was just, everything was good. It was so good. I just wanted like a grazing station, like a bunch of apps that you can just eat and you can fill up a plate and be full, or you just go back every now and then, get you a meatball and then keep it pushing. The games were so much fun. I can't remember the name of I think it's called Soundwave, but I could have made that up. It you can like make noises, but you can't say words, and you can't use your hands, and it was chaotic, but it sounds crazy and impossible, but it was so much fun. We played Mafia, which is, I think at this point everybody pretty much knows what Mafia is. I wanted a game night and a slumber party, and that's what I got. And it was so much fun. I had a ball. We had some karaoke, but by the time we started to do the karaoke game, unfortunately, everybody was like pooped, so we didn't really get into it. So now my sister owes me karaoke, a karaoke night. So we're gonna get that together one day. One day. Um, so what else? And Nikki from the wedding, the bridal shower, she was my maid of honor. And then Mo was also a bridesmaid. Included in the bridesmaid section is my niece. She was a junior bridesmaid. Her name is Aaliyah, and I got emotional seeing her get her makeup done because, I think she's 17, 16, 17. I'm bad with ages. I think she's 17 though. But I've never seen her with, and I told them to go lighter on her makeup because she's a kid. Still a kid, I don't care. Um, but seeing her with makeup on and the whole, it was a lot. Cause I remember when she was my little leap star and my little diva who all I had to, we'd be walking in the store and I say pose and all of a sudden she stops and she's like, I remember that. And I have to figure out how that little toddler turned into this almost grown woman. And I can't. And then because I'm no longer local to her, I'm not seeing her every day. So every time I see her, it's like a time jump. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I know they have to grow. I know they have to grow. But it's too much. Anyways, so that's on the bride side. On the groom side, we had the mother of the groom, Miss Tanya. She's sweet as pie. She's just the sweetest person you ever met in your life. It's crazy because my husband is, that's my husband. It's my husband. Okay, I'm back. My husband is just so mean. And she's so sweet. I always joke with him and say that basically she prepared him for me because I feel like we have very similar personalities. She's very, and he's very quiet. Everything in his life, I feel like, was setting him up to be prepared for this, all this extraness, down to our dog Zoe, because Zoe tricked him when he got her from. I think he got him from adoption agency. He said that she tricked him like 9 months before we met. And she was very calm. She was so it was very calm when he came to the kennel, was like wasn't jumping up, wasn't trying to, he's like, okay, that's my dog. He took her home. She's a ball of energy who needs attention all the time. And moody. That's me. So everything was preparing him for me. This is starting to hurt. I'm allergic to any fake jewelry and I've been wearing a lot of it. So outside of the mother of the groom, there was his best woman, which was his oldest sister, Queda, who is now my sister. She is a time. She is a time and a half. Like, I love that girl down. And we don't get to talk often. We don't get to see each other often. Live in two totally different states. And so I know she doesn't know how much I love her down. But I love that girl down. I'm 24 minutes into this and I haven't even gotten to the crux of, oh, Jesus. We're going to get there. But I love her down. And then there is his brother, who was a groomsman, Corey. Corey is the most hilarious dude I've ever met, probably. I and I met a few comedians. He is hilarious. Like it, it doesn't make any sense how funny he is. Uh, it baffles my mind. And he's quick witted with it. It's just he was supposed to have his other brother, Sean, be in a groomsman as well, but unfortunately that did not work out. And that's the bridal party. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Talk about the broader scopes of things that happen. So I am a planner. I have always been a planner. I love planning events. I think I excel at planning events. In high school, I planned a fashion show, went off without a hitch. I got many, many kudos for that. And when I was at my old church, I planned a citywide singles summit. And that was a major success. We were almost to capacity with that, but we would have had more people if we had thought to check the calendar for the city that day. And it was two major events happening that day. It was the singles and save summit, and I think it's spoken reasons with not spoken reasons. This is going to start a conversation. Ace Metaphor was doing an event. I can't remember what his old event was called, but he was doing an event. That was the number one ticket, and we were the number two ticket. So we had a really, really good turnout for that. And I love planning events. It's fun to me. At one point, I wanted to be an event planner. Was told that maybe that's not my ministry. I question that now, but that's neither here nor there. But when we started planning the wedding, I was so excited that it looked like I was stressed on the outside, but on the inside, I was just like bursting with ideas and stuff. So Stefan was like, okay, I think we need to get I don't want you to be stressed out this whole time we're trying to plan. I think we need to get a wedding planner. I'm like, I don't think we need one. I feel like I got this under control. He's like, no, I really do think we need it. We need a wedding planner. Now today, I feel like we needed a day of coordinator and someone to set up and design. That's it. I don't think we needed a wedding planner. Respectfully. And I don't believe in publicly disparaging Black businesses. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to share my experience. So we found who will remain nameless. We found I think it was on bark.com. I was able to find a wedding planner. It was important to me that they were Black, so they could understand some of the traditions of a Black wedding and not like turn up their nose like, what is this, or if you're crazy type situation. Had really great reviews. It was I'm chatted with her one night. Like the next day or the day after, we ended up having a quick phone call with me, Stefan, and her. It felt right, so we went ahead and signed the contract. She told us what everything we were going to get. She said there's going to be some times when we feel like she contacts us too much. There's going to be some times when we're going to be meeting in person. Sometimes we're going to do virtual meetings. There's going to be some times where we do just strictly phone calls. Sometimes we're going to do coffee meetings. It's going to be stuff like that. That's not the experience we got. We got virtual meetings, and sometimes we had to remind her, hey, we haven't had our meeting this month. Everything that I feel like should have been handled by her, or she should have taken the lead in, I did. Me and Stefan did. We found a location prior to her, so I'm not putting that on her. But we struggled with finding a photographer, a caterer. There was other things. That's the major ones. But there were other things. A bartender. We didn't really struggle to find a DJ because we hadn't started looking for a DJ. And I ended up loving the DJ we had. He dropped the ball a couple of times, but it wasn't something horrible. It wasn't something horrible. I would highly recommend the DJ again and again. But everything, we were to the point where for months we were trying to find a caterer and a photographer. And we couldn't find anybody. Like, nobody would contact us back, no matter what we did. Like, I probably contacted 30 different companies. I got to the point where I'm like, okay, maybe we need to like do a potluck situation because I didn't know what to do. And month after month, because we would only meet with her once a month, and every now and then I would text her in between and tell her, hey, we're looking for XYZ. And she would be like, oh, go to Zazzle. I'm asking you to do this. She would say, I think she recommended for the caterer one caterer to us. So we went to their Thanksgiving event, and the food was not good. The food was not good. At all. It was just, I just felt like I was doing a lot of the work. And it felt like she was supposed to keep us on track with payment, with staying in budget. We would have remained in budget had we not hired her. That's what pushed us over. Like, I would have hired the day of setup, everything, absolutely everything. Like, I have an issue when I have a vision in my head, but I don't know how to verbally translate that. I was worried that I was not translating it properly. There was something that was very important to me, of like an awning almost, that I wanted to have, that me and Stefan would be able to step into, and then we could close some curtains. And when we close the curtains, it would be when we close the curtains, we would be able to have do our private vows where nobody would hear us but us. It's just between me and him. And then when we were done doing our private vows, we would the curtain bridesmaid, the maid of honor, and the best woman would lift the curtains, and we would go over and do our 4-element ceremony. I was worried that she was going. When I saw that, I was able to breathe. Like, she got the right one. However, I think she just got the one that I pointed out to her on Amazon, which would have been cool. But had we got it on Amazon, I could have returned that sucker after the fact. You feel me? So, and then it wouldn't have been an extra upcharge. But that's the rehearsal, the wedding rehearsal. We never got through a whole flawless run through of the wedding. She had somewhere to be after the rehearsal. She let that be known. Let that be known to the point where she first tried to convince me to switch the wedding rehearsal to Thursday instead of Friday. We got people coming from across the country that needs to be at the rehearsal. So they're going to have to pay for an extra night in a room. Swiss A flight, which is going to be an upcharge. It didn't make sense. And I was trying to make it work. I was really, really trying to make it work, but it was just not possible. And she said we would only need an hour, and it didn't make sense to me that we would just need an hour. But okay. She came late. And there was an excuse provided as to why she was late, but there was not an apology. And I say excuse because there was not an apology attached to it. There was not, so it's not a reason to me. It's just, it is what it is. This is what happened. Take it or leave it. And I could have left it. But before she got there, because I'm a prompt person, I started the rehearsal already. Now, we started the rehearsal with me running everything. I did a run through of the timeline of what we need to expect for the date and the ceremony. Everything was everything. I made sure I would pause, check in with everybody, make sure everybody was understanding what the plan was. Right when we was getting ready to get into everything, that's when she came in, about 15, 20 minutes late. Cool. Immediately, and this was not just me, but immediately, the vibes went down. Like, the energy in the room went down. And I've been telling my people for almost since we hired her, I don't like it. I don't like her. And I've been telling them, and I feel like after you say something for so many times, for so long, you start to feel like, oh, maybe I'm crazy. Nobody's really hearing me. Separately, not together. They didn't have a chance to come together and have this discussion. Separately, people would pull me aside after the rehearsal, like, hey, I see what you were talking about. Hey, rehearsal was running a lot smoother prior to her showing up because she made everybody confused. Hey, and then I was so stressed at this time because I know I have I've been told my whole life I have a takeover spirit, and I'm trying to like suppress that because I don't want to make this experience. I don't want to be a bridezilla. That was a very high priority on my list. I didn't want to walk away and anybody say, oh, she was a bridezilla the whole way through. So but I'm so enraged with the whole overall experience with her that I'm just fighting myself. I'm fighting myself. So apparently it was showing all over my face that I was just like not here for her. And there was not a reason provided for anything. Like, I didn't know that traditionally at a rehearsal, I'm not supposed to walk down the aisle. So all I know is she has somebody else walking down the aisle with Stefan. No, with my mom to give me away in the rehearsal. And I'm like, break down to me why this is not me so I can experience it and know, okay, this feels right, this does not feel right. I wasn't granted that. And then finally I finally said, okay, let me do this. And they're like, okay, traditionally it's considered bad luck. And I don't really do the luck thing, even though the morning of the wedding, I ran into my then fiance on the elevator, and I almost snapped at him, like, why are you here? And I ran away. Oh golly, it's stupid, it's foolish. Anyways, day of the wedding, everything was pretty great. We did have there was a moment, and I don't blame anybody but myself for this. So I ordered my bouquet from Etsy. And I can't explain to you what was wrong with it, but it was not a good bouquet. And when people saw the bouquet, they were able to understand what I meant. But it was very much giving this is what I ordered versus this is what I got situation. Like, it had all the parts to the bouquet, but it didn't look like the bouquet. And I couldn't explain to you why it didn't look like the bouquet. So I had the bouquet for about a month and a half, maybe. And I've been trying to convince myself, okay, it was made of pampas grass. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave it outside in the weather for like, in the sun for like 48 hours and give it some time for it to spread out naturally. Because when I threw my Nikki's bridal shower, I ordered some pampas grass and I had to do that. And then it looked like a whole different plant. I'm like, okay, this is going to make it better. But I didn't want to do that too early. So waited for Wednesday before the wedding, put it outside. It somehow looked worse. It somehow looked worse. And I finally was just like, in talking and passing, I told my mom, I hate my bouquet. I'm going to use it, but I hate it. She's like, oh no, we don't have to worry about that. No, this was on Thursday. I told her, we don't have to worry about that. We'll have one of your aunt fix it. I'm like, no, because she's not getting in until late Thursday night, Friday morning or something like that. I can't remember when she was supposed to get in. I think she was supposed to get in Friday night. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be stressed Saturday about what's going on with the bouquet. I'm just talking right now. It's good. I'm good. We can leave it alone. So unbeknownst to me, my mama still went to my aunt, was like, hey, this is what's going on. She hates it. And if my aunt lived locally, I would have so had her do my whole wedding. She does this. She's good at this stuff. Like, she's excellent at this stuff. Like, she's amazing. So I'm not taking anything away from that at all in any way, shape, or form. So at one point I got put on the phone with my aunt and she said, hey, I can promise you I will have the bouquet at the venue no later than 1:30. I'm not supposed to be at the venue until 2. So I'm like, you said 1:30. I took her at her word. She said, yes, 1:30. I said, okay, I'm going to let you have it. So in the morning, on Saturday morning, my sister delivered my bouquet to her. And I was out of my mind. And the reason I don't blame anybody but myself is because at the end of the day, the decision was mine. I said no multiple times before, but I went against my first mind. And I said, let's go ahead and give it the old college try. So we're getting ready to walk out maybe 15 minutes before. And I'm like, wait, I haven't seen the bouquet. Where's the bouquet at? Because it was not in my mind. It was not in the forefront because we were running like 10 minutes late, which I don't do. So, because it was like a whole project to get me into the wedding dress. The wedding dress was so gorgeous. I fell at my reception. It was hilarious. I knew I was going to fall, and I got that dress altered, but I didn't walk around enough in the dress. So standing still, the alterations were great. It was perfection. Walking, my short butt, it was not perfection at all. So I fell, and I was okay with it. Everybody else was like, are you okay? It was a tragic moment for everybody else. For me, it was not. It was hilarious because I knew I was going to fall. I was just glad I didn't fall outside. That was it. Anyways, back to the bouquet. So I finally checked in, was like, hey, where is the bouquet at? I haven't seen it. And then apparently this was a conversation in the background between, I don't know who, but it was like, oh, it's like a mile away. I'm like, okay, it's 3 now, but we're already running late. So if it's a mile away, it's cool. So my mom calls her sister. It's like, hey, where are you guys at? And I don't know. Basically, it was not a mile away. So I'm like, I don't have anything walked down the aisle with. We went out our way. I was going to have the bridesmaids not walk down the aisle having anything, but my mom was like, we're not wearing anything. Walk down the aisle carrying anything. She said, we're not going to do that. We're going to make some bouquets for them. So they made some beautiful, beautiful baby's breath bouquets. Gorgeous. But I was just going to not have anything. So I started to tear up. There was a one time I think I started to tear up during the wedding. It was not a good look. And then I sucked it up. I'm like, can't do that. We're not going to do that. It's okay. I'll just walk down holding nothing. Thankfully, with the bouquets that they made, they accidentally made one extra. And that one extra was a little bit bigger than the other ones. So I went ahead, scooped that, walked down the aisle with that one. Crisis averted. And it worked out great because I had baby's breath in my hair. And I had it, and I love baby's breath. I feel like baby's breath is not appreciated enough. Baby's breath needs its whole moment. It does. I think that it's so beautiful. So beautiful. So, that was the bouquet fiasco. My aunt pulled me aside. She did apologize, and I let her know it's not on you, because it's not. My mom apologized as well, and I could tell my mom was like heartbroken behind it. I'm like, it's not on you, because it's not, and it's not me being funny. It's not me trying to make you feel worse. It's not on you. I said yes, so the onus is on my shoulders. Period. So, wedding happens, and I knew I was going to be one of two things. I was going to be blubbering mess, which I figured out that wasn't going to be the case because I figured out that I was not going to be a blubbering mess like the day before when we were at the rehearsal. Because when we were rehearsing, I kept doing what I call the Joker smile. I look psychotic. To me, I feel psychotic when I do it. And just looking at me just there, I look psychotic. I am fearful that our videographer has a lot of psycho videos of me just being like... And when I get nervous, I do stupid stuff. And I was crazy nervous. So I'm walking down the aisle with my mom. My mom's about to give me away. And I'm seeing my fiance at the time, now my husband, because I'm a wife now. He's my husband. He chose me. I was a decision he made. I'm seeing him and I'm like, okay, y'all know how ladies be, and I was very much this girl, be like, oh, when I come down the aisle, he better be like lusting after me. He better think I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. I was that person, like, with him. Like, I kept, he was in this burgundy suit. And he kept telling me he was going to wear a burgundy suit. I didn't see it for him. I didn't see it. Like, I couldn't visualize it. But it wasn't my wedding. It was our wedding. So I said, you do what you do, baby. But that man had that mess on. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm just like, and I just know. And then while I was doing that, I noticed that the videographer was right behind him. So it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. And the whole time I'm just like, and I couldn't stop talking while we were up there. When I tell you I love this man, I didn't know you could love somebody this much. I did not know it's possible to love somebody this much. He is my safe place. He is... My heart's racing just thinking about the man, because, geez Louise. But I'm a wife now. That's the moral of the story. I was a bride and now I'm a wife. And I am excited about this because I have my forever person. I have, like, if y'all would have known me, 10 years ago, y'all would have never seen this for me. I didn't see this for me. He was my last date, like, ever. Like, I was done after him. I was done. And apparently he was done too. Like, we were done dating. Like, I went there and did not expect to like him. I he was going to be. I had resolved that I was just going to be single for the rest of my life, and I was okay with that. He was going to be my last date, but God, because I couldn't even say that I was trying to just get a free meal out of him, because the place we went, immediately I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for myself because I like you. I asked him if he was cool with it, because some dudes be weird about that, which is weird to me. Like, that's weird. But I ended up paying for myself, not because he didn't have it or I didn't think he didn't have it. It was because I liked him and I didn't want to. I don't know. I was weird about it. I was weird, and I think I was more of myself at that. Now that I think about it, I think I was more of myself at that first date than I've ever been at a date, because I was done. Like, why am I going to put on for this dude? Like, I was cute or whatever. I had my face done and everything like that, but I wasn't hiding. I don't want to say the crazy, because I don't think I have the crazy, but I wasn't hiding the eccentricities. It and after the second date, I didn't go home. like we went on a second date, and I hesitantly went to his house to watch Netflix, and it was not a Netflix and chill situation. I didn't do nothing dirty for months. I was basically living with the man, but we didn't do nothing dirty for months and months. My mama don't believe me, but we didn't. I was celibate, and I accidentally stopped my celibacy, because what had happened, he doesn't know this, but what had happened was, we crossed the line one night, and I said, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going back to, I'm going to get my 1-day chip for celibacy, and I'm going to keep it pushing. We're going to start over. But then things got hot the next night. Well, not the next, was it the next? It was probably the next night. And I was like, okay, well, I think celibacy's over. So that's how that went. I don't know. I was just very happy. I'm very happy right now. I'm so happy consistently. He's been my happy place. I don't know. But that was my wedding. I feel like this was kind of all over the place, but I did give you guys a disclaimer that, hey, I had some drinks. And I feel like I'm almost sober now, almost. But please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to comment, tell me where you're at in your dating situation, or if you're married, how long you've been married, or what's going on with that. Like, I'm curious. I want to see, if you're married, give me marriage advice. If you're dating, tell me, is it still toilet water out there? Is the dating scene still toilet water? I'm curious. Like, comment, subscribe, share. That will always help me. And I appreciate you guys spending some time with me. And I'm back, baby.